Item 10D, authorize fireworks stand permit for 2011 upon finding that the nonprofit organizations meet requirements of Resolution 2008-59 and Ordinance Number 1700. City Clerk.
Mayor and Council, this year I received 17 applications. One is a brand new one and 16 are returning. All of the applications were reviewed by the fire department, the police department, and the subcommittee. And then they also attended, those 17 applicants attended a mandatory safety meeting that we held last Tuesday evening. In response to citizen concerns over the dangers of fireworks, as a city, we passed in 2005 an initiative that safe and sane can be done in San Bruno. So we cannot ban those fireworks. And I'm here tonight to ask that these applications be authorized.
Thank you. And just on top of that, I would like to ask the city manager to update us on special precautions we're taking in the Glenview area this year.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. As you know, the city takes a zero tolerance approach to the enforcement both of illegal fireworks regulations that are implemented at the state level and those local regulations related to the use and sale of safe and sane fireworks that have been implemented by local ordinance, as the city clerk indicated, established by vote of the voters of the city of San Bruno. For the coming year, in understanding and sensitivity to the concerns that are being expressed by members of the Glenview area and their heightened level of sensitivity both to the threat of fire as well as loud noises generally, we're going to do some additional enforcement, patrol, and monitoring and support to the neighborhood. San Bruno Police Department will deploy additional officers on July 4th and the days leading up to the holiday, as we always do. Those officers are assigned to focus, as I said, on enforcement of laws related to illegal fireworks use, and they are in addition to the normal deployment of officers on routine patrol. Supplementing those initiatives, we will be assigning additional officers directly to the Glenview area. In past years, around the 4th of July holiday, we have typically assigned 4 to 6 officers who patrol in teams the division of the city or the area of the city that's generally described as covering the area from I-280 to the city limits. In addition, this coming holiday season, the police department will assign a 2-officer team devoted solely to the Glenview neighborhood. These officers, as I indicated before, will be in supplement to the normal heightened level of patrol we provide. Officers, as I indicated, take a zero tolerance approach to the use of illegal fireworks or the improper use of safe and sane fireworks. A violation of either of these ordinances or either of these requirements carries a fine of up to $1,000. In previous years, fines have been imposed, and they will be again this year, vigorously. In addition to this additional enforcement in the Glenview area, officers will be there in advance of the holiday season to assist in reassuring residents of the neighborhood and to help remind residents of the neighborhood about the city's zero tolerance approach and the actions that they can take to keep the neighborhood safe during this holiday season. I want to also address an additional issue having to do with fire safety that has been identified as a concern of the neighborhood and what we're doing about it. And that is the growth of tall grasses and weeds as a result of the hydro seeding that went on following the demolition of destroyed properties in the neighborhood. Those weeds have grown to a fairly substantial height. However, due to the weather patterns that we've been experiencing over this past several months, where the weather has not been particularly dry or hot, those weeds have actually not matured to the point where they present an immediate fire danger. However, they are obviously unsightly and they clearly need to be removed by and before the July 4th holiday season. The removal of those weeds too early has a potential of giving rise to a new growth that then will become an additional problem later down the road. So we're trying to time the effort to make sure that the area is cleared to make best advantage of that work effort and to protect the neighborhood as best possible. As such, the city is coordinating with the private property owners in the neighborhood to facilitate the removal of the weeds prior to the start of the sale of Safe and Sane fireworks, which begins on June 28th. So that means within the next 2 weeks, we will be in the neighborhood assuring that those weeds are removed. We are currently in the process of gaining permission from property owners on whose property this work needs to occur. And we're about halfway through the return of those right of entry agreements that we previously sent out. So we'll be contacting property owners from whom we have not heard, and as a necessary last-ditch effort, it's my understanding that our fire chief and fire marshal can order removal of the weeds, and we would proceed on that basis if it becomes necessary. So we are doing what we believe is both necessary and what we are able to do in order to protect and reassure the neighborhood. And I would be happy to take any questions that City Council might have.
Any questions of the city manager?
City Clerk, will a motion suffice for this? I'll go ahead and move the authorized fireworks stand permits for 2011.
Carter, second. A second.
Motion second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.